This is not a tinfoil hat conspiracy type video. I am not that type of person. However, I do believe that this is a real possibility. The Baltimore Ravens game, week 2, where we travel to Baltimore to take on the 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson, could be the second and last game Gardner Minshew ever suits up as the starting quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. And I want to make something abundantly clear. I do not blame Gardner Minshew for us only scoring 10 points against the Los Angeles Chargers. I blame Antonio Pierce for not having the team ready, and I blame the offensive line for not being able to pass protect and for the running game to not get going. If you don't have those 3 things, it doesn't matter who your quarterback is unless it's Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, or Joe Burrow. You will not have a successful franchise being led offensively if you do not have great offensive line play and decent running abilities. However, we all know, or most of us assumed, most of us predicted, most of us thought that Aidan O'Connell was the superior quarterback of the 2. And when Gardner Minshew was named the starter, a lot of people's reasoning behind that, and Antonio Pierce said as much, was we went with the experience, not turning the football over in key situations, and mobility. And the 2 problems that happened with Gardner Minshew is he was sacked 4 times, which negates the mobility, and he turned the ball over twice. And before I get into the rest of this video, I need 2 things from you. Number 1, subscribe. We're so close to 9,000, and if we get to 9, why not 10? 70% of the people that watch these videos are not yet subscribed, so hit that freaking button. If you're a little nervous, just give it a little click. It's free. Don't worry about it. If you want exclusive content, your name at the end of the credits, videos early, days in advance, or ad-free versions of this video, follow the link in the description below or click the little orb that came up here, one of these things, to my Patreon. You sign up. It's like a YouTube membership, and for $5 a month, you get all of what I just said. That's it. You could join 1 month, cancel the next. We just got 10 members. Let's get to 15. Let's get to 20. Let's get it. Those were the 2 key aspects as to why Antonio Pierce went with Gardner Minshew instead of Aidan O'Connell. And when he made that announcement in that press conference, he said we need to get out to a fast start. He looks at the season in quarters: first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. The first 4 games are Chargers, Ravens, Panthers, Browns. The first 2 games, hostile environments, quote unquote, on the road. Great defenses. Gardner Minshew needs to go out there, run around, protect the football. The first game, he did neither of those things. He played okay, honestly played a little better than I thought he would, but he did not do the 2 things that won him, quote unquote, the starting football job. In week 2, if we play the Ravens, and look, we are 9.5-point underdogs, and rightfully so. We looked terrible week 1, and the Ravens are the better football team. If they beat us, nobody's going to be surprised. However, it's how they look beating us if we lose the game that's going to determine if Gardner Minshew gets the start week 3. Because I've been saying this whole time, if we go 1-3 or 0-4 in these first 4 games, they will pull the plug. However, I think they will pull the plug on Minshew even sooner if we go 0-2 and don't muster up more than 10 points in the first game and more than 10 points in the second game. Because if we lose another game 14-10 or 17-6, there will be no reason to not at least give the second-year, 4th-round kid another chance to show that he's improved. Because in week 3, you will have what should be a layup of a football game in front of a home crowd against the Carolina Panthers team who already got blown out. And if we do want to get a little tinfoil hatty, maybe Antonio Pierce was doing his best to protect the young quarterback initially by not throwing him to the wolves with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa and the stout defense of the Baltimore Ravens breathing down Aidan O'Connell's neck the first 2 games. Maybe Aidan doesn't play that well, his confidence is shaken up, and now you got to go to the vet. Instead, they went with the proven commodity in Gardner Minshew, and through 1 game, again, not entirely his fault, but through 1 game, it has not worked. Not even come remotely close. And the only reason why we were having all these hyperbolic conversations after 1 game is because of how bad it was. We didn't get into the red zone the whole game, save for the one time Alexander Mattison caught the ball out of the red zone, ran it into the red zone, and then into the end zone. We were not in the red zone the whole game. That's not going to get it done. And if that's going to be the offense under Gardner Minshew, why would you continue to play him? Antonio Pierce wanted to start it fast. And we've started as slow as humanly possible, and he's not going to wait around for Gardner Minshew to figure it out. He will go back to Aiden, who was ready, who had his helmet on the whole time he was on the sideline, waiting to get his chance. And maybe Aiden doesn't work out either, but there's no reason to continue to roll with Gardner if the start is going to be that slow. Because we could all agree where Gardner's better mobility-wise, right? Aiden is a much more accurate, refined passer. And in my opinion, a better decision maker. Because even if Gardner made all the right reads, he threw a pass backwards to nobody. It was a mental error, and it's something that I do not believe Aiden O'Connell would have done. And maybe he would have got sacked a couple more times because he's a bit of a statue. But I think he would have taken some chances down the field. He would have tried to fit the ball in the better, tighter windows. And I'm not saying, again, I just want to make this a point of emphasis. I'm not blaming Gardner Minshew for losing that game. I do not think it was entirely on him. I'll put like 25% on him. It's mostly the decision to put him out there when right now it doesn't seem like it's translating. Do you think, ask yourself this question, honestly. I want you to close your eyes for 1 second. Join me here, the viewer and the speaker. Close your eyes. You see Gardner Minshew. You see the final score. Am I still? Yes. You see the final score, 22-10. Right? Now imagine Aiden O'Connell plays in that game. Do you see us scoring more points or less points? Maybe it stays the same, but is it more or less? Now open your eyes. I see more. I got to be honest with you. I think Aiden would have a better grasp with the offense. I think he's the smarter, more cerebral quarterback. I think he's a more accurate passer. I've been saying this for months. He should get a full season to show what he's got. And if we go into Baltimore and play competitively and lose because the offense can't score, what are we waiting for? The grass to grow? It's not going to happen. We know what Minshew is. And this is what I was saying a couple days ago. Gardner Minshew won 9 games with the Colts. We have better weapons. But here's the thing. Gardner Minshew has never played with expectations. He's never felt the pressure to step into a situation where the roster is complete, save but a couple offensive linemen and the quarterback. And now you are supposed to be the quote-unquote missing piece where you could become the Kenny Stabler or the Rich Gannon who finally found his footing in Las Vegas and took the bull by the horns and got the ball to all these different weapons and won 10 games and made the playoffs. He's never felt this much pressure in the National Football League. And just because you look like you're born to be a Raider doesn't mean you could handle the pressure just like any other guy. We don't know how mentally capable Gardner is of handling these expectations. Aiden O'Connell, on the other hand, has already played in high-pressure, nationally televised, 30 million people watching, Chiefs-Raiders, Christmas Day, in Kansas City, immense pressure. And he didn't play great, but you know what he didn't do in that game? Turn the ball over. That's a game where we won the turnover battle 2-0, 3-0 if you want to count a turnover on downs. And if we turn the ball over one time in that game, because Aiden made a rookie mistake, we could lose that football game. Instead, he made sure to keep the ball in the hands of our playmakers and our running backs. He ran the offense that he was told to run. He did not turn the ball over in that game. And in the highest pressure situation, he was able to somehow get the job done. Whether he was carried to it or not, that was a game we won because Aiden did not turn the ball over and because we won the turnover battle. And like I've been saying, if Gardner's playing because he doesn't turn the ball over and because he's mobile, he turned the ball over twice and he got sacked 4 times. I don't think there's any much more to be said. And that's why I truly believe that if we play the Ravens and the defense is able to shut down Lamar and that offense, which is not great, save for him running around the field, and we lose that game because the offense can't score, and now we're 0-2 in games where if we scored 16 or 17 points, we could have won both games. I don't know how Max and Devontae don't go to AP and say, you got to start him. This is exactly what happened last year. And we waited too late. Maybe if Aiden plays in that Detroit game or if Aiden plays in that Steeler game early in the season, we flip 1 or 2 of those games and we go from 8-9 to 9-8 or 10-7. We waited until we were 3-5 to go from Jimmy to Aiden. And that game yesterday looked a lot like Jimmy Garoppolo leading the Raiders. And again, wasn't all on Jimmy, wasn't all on Gardner. But at the end of the day, we cannot afford to wait too much longer to not only see what we have in Aiden, but to save the season. If we wait till we're 3-5, it's going to be too late. Because right now we got some easier games coming up. After the Ravens game, we got the Panthers, we got the Browns, we got the Steelers and the Broncos. Those are 4 winnable games if you could score 20 points. We're not asking for the world to change here. And if Gardner doesn't play well in the Ravens game, I think it is time to let Aiden cook. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Comment below your thoughts. Join that Discord. Link is in the description below. It is a free group chat. You make an account, you get an app, or you can go in your browser. We're always typing and texting during the games, after the games. Join that Patreon, patreon.com/ALLaBorde Raiders. You see all the stuff you get. Name at the end of the credits. Exclusive content. Videos early. Ad-free. Please be sure to subscribe. It's free after I'm charged to you. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.